Alright guys, I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this, so finally got on a hoist. We've just done the new G-Force T5 gearbox, and it's currently, what, like midnight? We just want to go home, but we're doing this for you guys so you can see what's under this, because I know a lot of you have been asking me questions. So I guess I'll break this up into a few sections. So this one will be, what should we do? Tyres, brakes, suspension.
Yeah, suspension.
Alright, so tyre wise, I run a Federal 595 Super Street. I'm pretty happy with these tyres. They're kind of like a semi-slick, but not full semi-slick, if you can say that. And they're cheap. So I'm running these on a set of, as you can see here if you haven't already seen, a set of XXR 527s. These are 17 by 8 1/4, I think. That was the widest rim I could get at the time when I got these. But the 255s fit pretty nicely on there. And then inside them, as I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen, is my K-Sport 8-pot 356mm big brake kit, which is amazing. So that's that. And then if you come under here, I've got a big, I think it's 30mm sway bar for the front. We've got the white line adjustable caster arms, I guess. Also the white line drop link sway bar mounts. So normally they mount up to the strut. So I've changed to this method and it made a massive difference. But of course I've had to kind of customize it to fit under the coilover when the suspension's at full droop. So yeah, and while I'm on that topic, I've got K-Sport fully adjustable coilovers. They're awesome. I run them on about 2/3 hard. I might actually start to back them off a bit if I get sick of it, but they've been running really well for now. What else we got? Yeah, it's basically the front, nothing too special. Obviously all poly bushings everywhere because rubber's shit. Then coming back, so I kind of touched on this on the last one with the tray and airbag setup, but now that we're under it, I can give you a closer look. So I've got the white line, I think 22mm adjustable sway bar. I've put a heavier duty ball joint link in here because the previous one, like this one here, the bushings actually perished on it. I can't change this one because of the clearance with the muffler and the control arm, so that one's still doing alright. So yeah, obviously the stock trailing arms, poly bushes, and you can see up, or probably better in here, my custom tapered sleeve airbag setup. So that just sits in there in place of the spring basically. Nothing too fancy, just a little bit of a sandwich plate underneath here and the hard plastic line that goes there into the cabin with the switches, as you probably saw in the previous video. And then shock wise, I'm running the K-Sport adjustable shocks that came with the coilover kit. So I'm running everything for the coilover kit except the coils. I'm using my bags, excuse me. But these fit really well, and these make a massive difference on the rear end handling of this car. Like, huge difference. You just got to make sure you set them up right to give it enough rebound and droop when you're going over bumps and stuff. But that's all outlined in their stuff. And then I suppose rear wheels, same deal, same size rims, same size rubber. I'm still running the stock single piston slider calipers, but I've kind of done a bit of a sneaky. It looks like a Brembo 2-pot with those cheap eBay covers. Don't flame me, but it actually does look better. You can't deny that. And a bit of aero here. We'll add that in the package too. So I got this carbon diffuser and then this alloy under tray, which I don't even know if it works. It looks cool. It stops you seeing all this shit from the back of the car anyway. So yeah, it obviously does work a bit because you can see water spray up it. So yeah, meant to basically deflect the air out and clean the exit of the vehicle instead of getting stuck up under here, etc. Also adjustable panhard rod. So you need that whenever you lower your car because as the suspension drops, basically if it's fixed it will pull the axle to one side, so you need this to kind of wind it back out and center the axle with the vehicle. And also ages ago when I did the rear wheel bearings, I think I actually put a Ford Falcon diff hat on this, which has got a spot for a, if you come in closer here, a spot for the Watts linkage mounting. So I still haven't got around to setting up a custom Watts linkage in this yet, but that's on there. I'll do it one day amongst other things, but
what about this awesome looking black piping thing?
Alright, so carrying on from the engine bay, coming down the dump pipe. The dump pipe finishes here basically with this 3-inch V-band, and then we come into this 3-inch mid pipe, I guess. Now, as you guys know who have these cars, they're very tight, especially when your car's low, so I'll try my best to kind of snake it up in all the crevasses in this crappily designed underbody, but that's another matter. So yeah, I'm basically mounting from one of the gearbox cross member bolts. If you come around here you might be able to see it better. So I've taken the original one out, put a longer one in, spun around the other way, and I've done this mount here. So that's a pretty simple and effective way. It's also good when you're putting it on, you can just kind of slot it on. And up in here I've got my wideband air fuel ratio sensor, and then coming further back down the system, got a flex. Obviously you never have enough flex joints in an exhaust in my opinion. This is the factory narrowband sensor, so this is basically only used for when you're running closed loop fueling, so just cruising around town, etc. And then when you're on boost, the ECU basically references the wideband, which in my opinion every single boosted car should have one, because you know 5 seconds of leanness is bang. Anyway, so I've got, moving down, obviously another 3-inch V-band. This is a 3-inch high flow Magnaflow cat, I think 200 cell per inch. Then we come down to here. Obviously this section cops a bit of a battering. You can see also very tight to try and bring it up neatly and tuck it under the car. And I've kind of done this little custom now. Want some rubber bushings going into, basically got some nuts welded on onto these parts, and then some rubber bushings. It doesn't look the best, but it seems to work pretty well. Keeps it nice and firm, as you can see. And then yeah, here I've got a 3-inch Varex muffler. So this comes in very handy. I've got it set up to that wide up switch in the cabin, which you probably may have seen my video a while back on how that was set up. But yeah, that's really good. That's basically a straight through muffler. Then after that I got another V-band. And then another thing you guys will probably notice is the exhaust I've run under the axle. From factory they actually go up and over. But I prefer the look of this, and also it's better flow, and yeah, it's just easier. So I've basically calibrated it so that when the axle's on full droop, it's just, well, it's probably just kissing it now, so that's fine. And it doesn't clang when you go over bumps and stuff. But that's only because I got the coilover rear shocks, because they, like coilovers, they don't let your wheels droop much. As you can see the clearance up there. And yeah, then it just comes basically straight back, JDM style, into a 3-inch straight through cannon muffler with a nice titanium burnt tip. So yeah, that's it for basically the suspension, tyres, brakes, etc. Stay tuned for the next one, where I'll go through basically the whole driveline, engine, gearbox, diff, and yeah, hope you guys find this interesting and kind of helps you guys design your own setups. I know a lot of guys who have been watching this have since built cars similar, so you know, these videos are obviously helping, so stay tuned and show your support.